Alright, I just got my Sorc to 25, and here I'm going to go over the build that I used to do it with. I tested a bunch of different builds. I tried Lightning, I tried Full Conjunction, I tried a lot of different enchantments, but the most standard and basic, simple, cut and paste, easy build and overpowered build is the Frozen Orb build. None of these legendaries or any of the gear that I have on affects this build at all. You don't need anything to run this build. You can start doing it at like level 5. So I'm just going to go over it real quick, alright? So we're going to start with obviously taking Frostbolt, and then you get this node and this one for the mana. Whenever this one procs, it explodes the Frostbolt. This doesn't really do any damage, and you don't want to put any points into it, and I'll talk about it why later. But whenever it explodes, you get the 4 mana from the explosion also. So sometimes it just gives you a ton of mana, but you don't really need to use this all that often. It's only whenever you're out of mana. Now, here's the big boy thing. We're going to be spamming Frozen Orb, and we're actually going to use our enchantment on Frozen Orb. If you're new to Sorc, this is going to be really confusing, but at level 15, you'll do a quest that will unlock your first enchantment, and you can put it in here by just dragging this skill into here, okay? It took me like 8 hours to figure out how to enchant stuff. This is how you do it. You hit S to open this menu, and then you put it in this slot. You get the other one at level 30, and it looks like you only really get 2, okay? Which is going to make for some crazy builds at endgame, but on the beta right now, you can only have 1, and so you might as well just use Frozen Orb, okay? So enchanting Frozen Orb makes it so it has a chance to do another Frozen Orb, 20% chance to do another Frozen Orb anytime that you cast a non-basic skill. Basic skills are pretty much only Frostbolt, so you don't want to cast Frostbolt that much. But anytime that you do a Frozen Orb, you could do another Frozen Orb, or really any other ability, alright? So we're going to juice up our Frozen Orb, put 5 points in here. We're going to get the increased damage when high mana, and then we're going to get the mana restore when hitting frozen enemies, because you're going to be hitting frozen enemies a lot because you're just spam chilling stuff every time that you Frozen Orb, and there's a good chance that it gets frozen, and it keeps your mana nice and high. You could take this also, it's not that bad. And then the other thing from this node here, ignore these points, these are from my items, is these points are pretty good. 3% maximum mana doesn't really do anything, but you want to unlock this. This is pretty much the same thing as this. It's just additional damage whenever your mana is above 50. So the first few times that you're Frozen Orbing, you know, it's going to hit way harder, okay? And that's going to cycle into this in the defensive node over here. We're going to get Flame Shield, and then we're going to branch off of it over here, and we're going to get 25% mana cost reduction while Flame Shield is active. So whenever you run up to a pack of mobs, you're going to activate your Flame Shield, and then you're just going to spam Frozen Orb like crazy, and it's not going to cost that much mana, okay? 39 mana, you know, it's not going to... We're going to get that 25 reduction on there. And then as soon as we're below 50 mana, we activate Ice Armor, because we got this node, and that's going to increase our mana regeneration by 25%. And it's also going to keep us healthy. The Flame Shield's going to wear off. This makes you invulnerable. And then this is going to give you a nice little damage boost, okay? And then I got this kind of just for no reason, because, I don't know, it's only 1 point. The other notable thing in this node is no matter what you do on a mage, you are 3 out of 3ing this. This is the most ridiculously overpowered talent in the entire mage class. Like read this, 18% increased damage. Yeah, you take, you know, 9 or 10% increased damage, but 18% increased damage all the time. You get this all the time. And, you know, you can have this, I think you get this at level 10, you unlock this, this node cluster. So yeah, that's pretty crazy. For the Frozen Orb build, you don't need to use any conjunction spells, but you could if you want to. These two have cooldowns, and the Hydra, you could just keep one out. It's kind of, there's not really all that much synergy. The Ice dudes, the Ice Blade dudes, you know, they do their own thing, so you don't, you know, this is a build for very later on in the game, and then Lightning Spear is for lightning, obviously, and then I didn't mess with any of these also. However, you could get Blizzard. It doesn't really play into the build at all, so casting it, you know, you're just not casting a Frozen Orb instead of doing the Blizzard. And then these points are relevant and usable. These two affect barriers, even though they're labeled as frosts, which I assume kind of plays into the Ice Armor. But the real takeaway here is this one, 3% chance to instantly freeze stuff. So that's pretty good. You can put 3 points in here, get 9% chance to instantly freeze stuff if you want. And since we're spamming some Frozen Orbs, you know, that could be pretty useful, I guess, but I didn't really care that much. And then in this last cluster here, you can get your ultimate ability. Deep Freeze synergizes pretty well with this, I guess, because it's also Frost. You don't really have to take it, but if you're playing hardcore, it's probably a good idea. And also, if you're playing hardcore, you're going to want to enchant your Flame Shield, because read that enchantment. Flame Shield automatically activates when you take fatal damage. This can only happen once every 2 minutes, so that's pretty much a requirement for hardcore. You can still run this build as hardcore. Your Frozen Orbs are just not going to, you know, copy themselves and multiply. But this is a pretty good and solid build to run until you get the legendary that lets you summon the extra Hydra, okay? Because just summoning one Hydra and just walking around is kind of stupid. So this is a much more safer, more involved build that you can kind of just gear up with. And then I like these points. Frost skills deal 5% more damage to elites. We do that to unlock this node, which is just, you know, just more damage to everything all the time. So these little nodes, don't disregard them. They have a lot of flat damage increases. There's pretty much one in every node cluster that kind of helps you out for Frost, and all the schools of elements have them. The Lightning Orb ones kind of affect all of the Lightning Orb stuff, like stunning things and getting unstable energy and stuff like that. Fire stuff affects burns. So no matter what kind of build you're running, you want to check out these little nodes and see if they help you at all, because, you know, these help right here. It's not really anything in conjunction, to be honest. It's kind of an outlier. But then, you know, these help. You don't really need to actually cast Frost Nova on anything. It's kind of dumb and bad, but these ones help a lot, and yeah, these ones help. I missed that one. But that's kind of the whole thing. Super easy, super basic, super starter. Just spam Frozen Orb, get mana, spend it. Super easy. You can do this while you're just figuring out the game, leveling up, looking for a better Sorc build, and playing the open beta this weekend. So hope you have fun with it. If you like World of Warcraft, check out some of my other videos, and see you guys later.